Hi again, everybody. Robin Hook with you from Robert J. Bob Stadium, Himes Field. It's Bronco baseball today. It's Western Michigan in a non-conference weekend series taking on the Bulldogs from the Citadel, all the way up from South Carolina. They won the opening game of this series, shortened to just 3 games. They won yesterday by the score of 7-4. Broncos will try and even the series today behind the left-handed slants of Joey Wizub, the junior out of Vernon Hills, Illinois, getting the start for Western Michigan. Here's your lineup for the Citadel. Leading off and behind the plate, Phillips Daniels. Batting second, the left fielder, T.J. Anderson. Hitting third at shortstop, Travis Elliott. Batting fourth at first base, Anthony Hausner. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Noah Cadiz. Batting sixth in center field, Thomas Rollauer. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Robbie Lane. Hitting eighth, playing right field, Ryder Popple. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Aryan Patel. Getting the start for the Citadel today, left-handed pitcher George Derek Floyd. More on his numbers coming up at the bottom half of the inning. Broncos have defensively this setup. Harity is at third base. Mike Maloney, the shortstop. Grady Mee at second. And Avery Thielman over at first. In the outfield, Dylan Nevar's in left. It is Malley in center, Tanner Malley. And the right fielder is Connor Ostrander. Western Michigan wearing the home white pinstripes with Broncos across the chest. Brown cap with the gold bill. And the Citadel rocking the powder blue jerseys and the white pants. As we're just about ready to go. Behind the plate, Chris Viverito, ready to call this first pitch from Wizub, and it is in there for a strike called at the letters. 1 strike on the leadoff hitter, Phillips Daniels. He's a junior from Columbia, South Carolina. Behind the plate here today, hitting at .247, no home runs and 12 runs batted in. The 1 strike pitch is outside, evens the count at 1-1. Yesterday, Daniels DH, Dan, was 1 for 5 with a couple of runs batted in. Right-handed hitter stands deep in the box. Here's the 1-1, and he slaps one foul just beyond the Citadel bullpen down the right field line. A crisp afternoon, and we've had a lot of rain here in Kalamazoo in the last few days. It took them a while to get the field ready to go and playable, but it looks pretty good for all the rain we've had. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Joey Wizub with a .669 earned run average, 2-4 record. This is his 8th appearance. All starts, 37 2/3 innings of work. He's given up 51 hits. There's a bouncer on 2 hops past Thielman into right field, and a leadoff single for Phillips Daniels. A runner aboard, nobody out for the Citadel. That'll bring up the left fielder, T.J. Anderson. He's from Anor, South Carolina. He's a junior, hitting at .253 with a home run and 11 runs batted in. Left-handed hitter. He was 1 for 5 yesterday with a run scored. Wizub, as we mentioned, has given up 52 hits now, 29 runs, 28 of those earned, 8 walks, 15 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .323 on Joey Wizub. Here's the set by the tall left-hander. The pitch. It's a breaking ball, over but low. 1 ball and no strikes to T.J. Anderson. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Travis Elliott. Runner on with a leadoff single here, just underway at Himes Field. There's a toss over to first. Runner gets back. Wizub been a regular day 2 starter for Coach Kiernan. This season he works from the third base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. Scoring to bunt was Anderson. He pulls it back and takes his strike, 1-1. Dylan Nevar pulled around to left. Looking for a little bit of oppo here by the batter. T.J. Anderson also pulled around to left. The center fielder, Tanner Malley. Another square to bunt and another strike called in the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. We mentioned Chris Viverito behind the plate. Down at first base is Chad Logan, and the third base umpire is Stephen Miller today. Joey Wisdom to the belt. The pitch swung on and lined into the right center field for a base hit. He got it on the handle, but he muscled it out there for a base hit. So 2 runners aboard and nobody out for the Bulldogs. And that'll bring up the 3-hole, Travis Elliott. He's a graduate from Lexington, South Carolina. Playing shortstop here today, hitting .280, no home runs, 21 runs batted in. Top RBI man on this team. And also their leading hitter at .280 with no home runs so far. Not a home run hitting team, really. They only have 8 for the season, giving up 20. But they have a winning record, 17-14 after yesterday's win. Out of the Southern Conference, 3-3 in conference play. Head coach is Russell Triplett. What a record he's put together in 15 seasons, 435 wins, 291 losses, and a tie thrown in there. Here's the pitch, squaring to bunt, pulling it back was Elliott. He takes a ball 1-1. 2 hits off Wisdom to open this first inning of play. Scheduled to play a doubleheader today. Coaches got together and thought better of it with the weather and the taxing on the pitching with conference games coming up next week for both of these teams. Elliott steps out. Now he digs back in. He crowds the plate. Feet shoulder apart. Broncos looking for a bunt. They don't get it, and taking the pitch was Elliott. Broncos had that play on where the third baseman comes in, the shortstop covers the hole, and Mee goes over to cover third base. Guys running every which way, but Elliott didn't move at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the set by Wisdom. Looks to second to the pitch. There's a bunt attempt. It's foul at home plate. Scooped up there by Diego Pena. Count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Playing Elliott not deep at all. They are shallow in the outfield, particularly Tanner Malley in center. It's almost shaking hands with Grady Mee. Here's the 2-2. Squaring to bunt again with 2 strikes. He got it down. Back to the pitcher, Wisdom, and he's going to beat it out. That ball died in the wet grass in front of home plate. Joey came in hard to field it and just couldn't get a grasp of it. And down to first with a bunt single goes Travis Elliott. I don't think Joey would have had a shot at him anyway. That ball just died in the grass about 10 feet out in front of home plate. So now the Citadel has them loaded with nobody out. Daniels at third, Anderson at second, Elliott the runner at first. On 3 consecutive hits, here's the pitch. In there for a strike called on the cleanup hitter, Anthony Hausner. He's out of Apex, North Carolina, playing first base, hitting .350. No home runs, 8 runs batted in. He was 1 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI in yesterday's 7-4 win. Swung on and fouled back and out of play over into the Bronco bullpen down the third baseline. So Wisdom quickly ahead of the lefty Anthony Hausner. No balls and 2 strikes. Broncos are in double play depth at short and second. They're in at first and third. If Thielman or Harity get on, they're probably coming home with it. Toss over to first. The runner gets back. No balls and 2 strikes. Joey steps off. Checks pitch com on the right wrist. And the lefty back up on the hill from the set. Here's the 0-2. It's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Anthony Hausner. Three straight singles, including a bunt base hit. Has them loaded. The 1-2 on the way. Just off the plate at the knees. Wizard wanted that one. So did the Bronco bench. But Chris Viverito said it was just outside. 2-2. Big pitch coming up here from Wizard. Another ball just off the corner. And the count goes full now, 3-2. He's got nowhere to put this base runner with the bags juiced with Bulldogs. The pitch. Strike 3 called. He took one too many. On the outside corner that time at the letters. And Viverito rings up Anthony Hauser for the first out of the first inning. Noah Cadiz steps in now. He's the DH from Somerville, South Carolina, hitting .250, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. The pitch to him. Checks his swing, takes a strike. He did not play in yesterday's victory by the Citadel. Stands deep in the box, rests the bat on his shoulder, now lifts it up and takes the pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 straight hits to open the game by the Citadel, has them loaded with 1 out for Cadiz in the 5-hole. The pitch outside, 2-1. .379 on base percentage for Cadiz, slugging at .417. .364 batting average with runners in scoring position, and he slaps this one foul down the right field line into the Citadel bullpen. He was trying to go that way as he let that ball travel deep into the strike zone before offering at it. Stands up right over the top of the plate. The 2-2 coming up from Wizard. Here it is. Swing and a foul back and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded with Citadel powder blue. There's the set and the 2-2. Swinging a bouncer slowly to second base. Me over to the shortstop, Maloney covering. Relay to first, not in time. They get the force, but a run comes in as Daniels crosses the plate. It'll be an RBI bounce out. Fielder's choice for Dees. He'll get an RBI on a bounce out to second base. That ball hit on the grass in the infield is going to slow up. It's going to eat it up a little bit here today. Still wet from all the rain we've had. Runners at the corners now, 2 out, a run in. The kick and the pitch is outside. Ruled the ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Thomas Rollauer. He's the center fielder from Atlanta, Georgia. Senior hitting at .275. No home runs. 10 runs batted in. He was 0 for 2 yesterday, but he had a couple of walks in that Bulldog win over the Broncos here at Himes Field. Next pitch is high and away. 2-0 the count. Robbie Lane would bat next if Rollauer could keep it going. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike. Fastball on the outside part of the plate at the letters. 2-1. Anderson, the runner at third. Dees on at first. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Broncos playing Rollauer deep. Senior from Atlanta. Gets on that back leg. Here's the pitch to him. Loads up, takes a strike at the knees. slide piece got in there on him. Count goes full now, 3-2. Runner at first to be on the move here on the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Pena to retire the side. The Citadel puts 3 runners aboard in the top 3 men in the order with back-to-back hits. But they manage only a run as Wizard works out of the jam. We go to the bottom half of the first. It's 1-0. The Citadel. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. Here's your lineup for Western Michigan. Leading off, playing center field, Tanner Malley. Batting second, the second baseman, Grady Mee. Hitting third, the shortstop, Mike Maloney. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Lucas Rick. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Dylan Nevar. Batting sixth, playing third base, Brendan Harity. Hitting seventh, the right fielder, Connor Ostrander. Batting eighth at first base, Avery Thielman. And batting ninth, the catcher, Diego Pena. Broncos will face the left-hander George Derek Floyd. His record 1-1, a 4.26 ERA. 5'10", 185-pound senior lefty from Florence, South Carolina. This will be the 6th appearance, make it the 7th appearance now for Floyd. All starts, 25 1/3 innings of work. He's given up 30 hits, 12 runs, all earned, 7 walks, 14 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .300 against the senior lefty, George Derek Floyd. It'll be Malley, Mee, and Maloney for the Broncos here in the bottom of the first, down 1-0. Tanner, the sophomore out of Lisle, Illinois, steps in hitting .384. No home runs, 10 runs batted in. It was 1 for 5 yesterday with a run scored. Drops a bunt down, and he got it by Floyd, the pitcher. That's going to be a base hit. Bunts the first pitch, and once it was past the pitcher, there was no play to be made by the second baseman against Tanner Malley, who bunts his way on here to lead off the bottom of the first. That'll be bring up the second baseman and switch hitter, Grady Mee. The junior out of Toledo hitting at .314 with 2 home runs and 18 runs batted in. Here's the sat by Floyd, and he'll go to first. Set the defense here in a second for the Citadel. Floyd getting his signal via pitch comm. Here's the set and the pitch. Runners going on a hit and run, and the throw down to second is in time. Tanner Malley is thrown out. I think that might have been a hit and run, but the pitch bounced up there, but a quick release by the catcher Daniels, and he guns out Tanner Malley trying to steal. Tanner looked to home plate as if it was a hit and run. Grady didn't offer out a ball that bounced up there. 1 ball, no strikes to Grady Mee. 1 out. The pitch swung on and missed. Big rip at a breaking ball by Grady. A ball and a strike. Here's the pitch from Floyd. Grady squares the bunt, pulls back, takes a strike in the outside corner. It's 1-2. Yesterday, Grady was 1 for 2 with an RBI, scored a run. And lines this one right at the shortstop, and it got by him under his glove. He tried to backhand it, and it just scooted past him on the back of the dirt into center field for a base hit. One out single for Grady Mee. He's on at first. Second hit for the Broncos. Bunt single, and Grady Mee singles up the middle. Here's Mike Maloney, the senior from Mokina, Illinois, hitting .270. No home runs for Mike. He has 11 runs batted in. He was 1 for 4 yesterday with a run scored and an RBI. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a foul back. One strike the count on Mike Maloney. Defensively for the Citadel, Anderson's in left, Rollauer the center fielder. Popple is in right. Patel at third, Elliott the shortstop, Lean at second base, Hausner at first, Daniels behind the plate. And the lefty Floyd on the mound with a quick toss over to first, and Mee got back. Mee is a threat to steal. He leads the Broncos in stolen bases with 14 steals in 15 attempts. The pitch. Strike in the outside corner to Mike, who didn't like it. No balls and 2 strikes to the veteran shortstop, Mike Maloney. Slightly open at the plate. It's on that back leg, taps the right shoulder. The 0-2 coming up from Floyd is in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and down to second goes Grady Mee. So the Broncos down 1-0, have a runner in scoring position here in their half of the first inning. Could have been a lot worse for the Broncos because the Bulldogs loaded them up on back-to-back hits, but only managed 1 run. Here's the 1-2. Outside. 2-2 now on Mike Maloney. Maloney hitting .405 with runners in scoring position. Here's the kick of the pitch. Swing and a shot up the middle. Bobbled by the second baseman. Picks it up and got him by a half a step. Mee goes down to third. Lane bobbled it. Stayed composed and picked it up and fired a strike over to Hausner at first to retire Maloney. So, runner at third now with 2 down for Lucas Rick. Lucas Rick DHing today. Redshirt junior out of Rockford, Michigan. Hitting .230, couple of bombs, and 11 runs batted in. Takes the first pitch over but low, 1 ball and no strikes. Rick was 1 for 4 yesterday with 2 runs batted in. A chance to drive in a run here and tie this game. And there's a shot down to third. Staying down nicely on that was Patel, and he throws out Lucas Rick to retire the side. Broncos strand a man at third. We go to the second. The Citadel 1, Western Michigan nothing. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. Robbie Lane will lead off the second inning for the Citadel. Lane from Claxon, Georgia. He's a junior playing second base today. Hitting at 194, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter takes one over but low, 1 ball, no strikes. Lane pinch hit yesterday, was 1 for 1 and scored a run. There's a strike at the belt, 1-1. He'll be followed by Ryder Popple and Aryan Patel, 7, 8, 9 hitters for Coach Triplett. There's a foul down the right field line and just over the Citadel bullpen onto the berm. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Joey Wizub, lefty, moved into that number 2 spot in the weekend rotation. Not a hard thrower, but he throws strikes. He's around the plate, pitches to contact. 2-2 the count. The pitch. That is inside with a breaking ball. Count goes full now, 3-2 on Robbie Lane. Right-handed hitter stands midway in that box and lines this one into right center field. Going back is Ostrander. Reaches up and makes the catch. That ball was slicing on Connor Ostrander, but he went back and made a nice play. That was not an easy catch. He's got a little wind to deal with too, out of the northwest. And it was slicing as well, and also had help from the wind in that direction, but Connor reached up and made a nice play. 1 down here in the Citadel second. Brings up Ryder Popple, the right fielder, looking for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 15. Was 0 for 3 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. Swings and hits one into center field. Malley went back originally, now comes on and makes a sliding catch. Tanner misjudged that ball off the bat and went straight back and then realized, oh, this ball's not going over my head. In fact, it's going to drop in front of me if I don't get going here. And Tanner was able to use those wheels of his and run it down.
Now back to the Bulldogs.
2 down.
Aryan Patel.
On a line drive to the right fielder Ostrander and a pop fly to Tanner Malley. Brings up the 9-hole hitter Aryan Patel. He's a good 9-hole guy, hitting at 273, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. Had a big day yesterday. He was 3 for 3, scored 3 runs, had an RBI, and also walked. Aryan Patel was on base all day yesterday. Stands up in the box, bat over the right shoulder, and he takes one in for a strike in the outside corner with a slider from Wizub. Patel steps out, regroups, and now stands back in there with a 1-2 count. The pitch. Reaches out and slaps it foul down near the end of the Citadel dugout. Staying alive. Pitch was out of the strike zone, but it was close enough to offer at with 2 strikes. So good job there by Aryan Patel to stay alive at the plate. 1-2. The pitch. Swing and a line drive. Snared by Me with a dive over to first in time. Oh, there's a web gem by Grady Me. That ball was ticketed for center field as Patel hit it sharply, but Grady dove to his right, stabbed it with a backhand, dug himself out of the dirt, and fired a strike to Avery Thielman to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for the Bulldogs in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 the Citadel. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. Broncos went into this weekend series against the Citadel after a big non-conference win earlier in the week at Notre Dame. Broncos beat the Irish on April the 1st, 5-4. Notre Dame threatened in the bottom of the ninth. But Jake Gernon came on and got the last 2 outs with men on base to preserve the win. Here's Dylan Nevar to lead it off in the second inning. Last year's MAC tournament most valuable player. Takes the ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Senior out of Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, playing in left field today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a fly ball deep to right field down the line. And this ball is gone. Dylan Nevar pulled it down the 335 mark in the corner in right. And the home run by Dylan Nevar ties this game at 1. Nevar with his 3rd home run of the season. And it comes off the lefty, Floyd, and got it off. Pulled it down the line. Would it stay fair was the only question, and it did. So a leadoff home run here in the second by Dylan Nevar ties this game at 1. Brings up Brendan Harity, the senior from Brighton, Michigan, playing third base. The pitch, swing and a foul back to the screen. Harity hitting at .228. Couple of home runs for Brendan, 15 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. And that's 7-4 loss to the Bulldogs. The 1-1 on the way. Swing and another foul back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Harity. Connor Ostrander on deck for the Broncos. Here's the 1-2 from Floyd. That one bounced up there. They peeled down there to first, see if he offered at it, but no swing. Count even now at 2-2 on Brendan. He was 0 for 3 in yesterday's loss. The kick of the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a high fastball. That was out of the strike zone, and Harity could not catch up to it. So 1 down. That brings up Connor Ostrander, the junior from Granger, Indiana, hitting at .253, no home runs. 10 runs batted in for Ostrander. He was 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a stolen base. Swings and goes the opposite way, but right at the left fielder, TJ Anderson, who hauls it in. So first pitch swinging. Ostrander is out on the fly ball to left. 2 outs now, and that'll bring up Avery Thielman, former Kalamazoo Central Maroon Giant. And he is a Giant, 6'4". A lot of height for those infielders to throw to down at first base. Swing and lines one sharply, but right at the center fielder. Rollauer didn't have to move on a sharp line drive to center that retires Thielman, and the inning is over. But the Broncos get a run on the solo home run by Dylan Nevar. After 2 innings, it's Western Michigan 1, the Citadel 1. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. Back to the top of the order for the Citadel, leading off this third inning. Phillips Daniels from Columbia, South Carolina. Singled and scored in the first inning. The pitch. Fouls the 1-0 pitch back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike to Phillips Daniels. The 1-1 on the way. Bouncer hard right back to Wizzup. He knocks it down, picks it up on the mound, and throws a strike to Thielman to retire Daniels. He hit it hard, was ticketed for center field, but Wizzup got the glove down, made a fine play. 1 down, that'll bring up Anderson. Anderson singled in the first inning. It's cut down on a fielder's choice play. Takes the first pitch for his strike. Batting left-handed against the lefty, Wizzup. The pitch. Swing and a bouncer over Wizzup this time. Fielded behind the bag by Maloney, and he throws him out. Mike Maloney crossing from short behind the bag at second. Squared his shoulders and fired a strike to get Anderson by a step. 2 quick outs here in the Bulldog third inning. We're tied at a run apiece. Each team with 3 hits. Big blow for the Broncos. A solo shot by Dylan Nevar down the right field line inside the foul pole to tie the game at a run apiece. This is Elliott standing in, the grad student from Lexington, South Carolina, playing at shortstop today. Takes the first pitch for his strike, 0-1. And takes another one on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Wizzup working quickly, the pitch. Swinging a bouncer to short. Maloney stays down on it, sets his feet, and fires a strike to Thielman to retire the side. Wizzup getting it going now. He retires the side in order. We go to the bottom of the third, tied at a run apiece. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. Those of you who are Citadel fans tuned in to today's broadcast from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I had the pleasure of coaching a former Citadel pitcher here in Kalamazoo, and he was here for a couple of years as a 15 and 16-year-old. Big right-hander Asher Wojciechowski, who went on to play for the Citadel and was the SoCon Pitcher of the Year 2 years in a row, and was drafted early by the Toronto Blue Jays and ended up making his major league debut for the Houston Astros. And moved around in the MLB before retiring from baseball. Now does a lot with his wife with a foundation they've started. But Asher Wojciechowski spent a couple of years here in Kalamazoo. Played for the Kalamazoo Maroons, and it's a pleasure coaching him. 1 strike on Pena, who leads it off. 9-1-2 hitters for the Broncos. Diego Pena, junior out of Muskegon, hitting at 136, no home runs, no runs batted in. He didn't play yesterday. had the day off. Here's the 1-1 to him. Swing and a fly ball. Hit sharply, but under it in center field is Rollauer, and he'll make the catch. Got under that one just a little bit, did Diego Pena. Chris Akers was behind the plate yesterday for the Broncos. He had a big day, 3 for 4. Scored a run. Pena gets the call behind the dish here today. Back to the top of the order in a 1-1 tie. This is Tanner Malley digging in. The pitch to him. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. Tanner led off the first inning with a bunt single. He pushed it past the pitcher towards the second baseman and beat it out easily for his 39th hit of the season. No balls and 1 strike to him here. Swings and flies this one out to right field, medium depth right field. Popples under it and he makes the catch. And Tanner Malley is retired. 2 quick outs here in the Bronco third inning in a tie ball game. 1-1. Our score, here's Grady Mee. Mee singled on a line drive just under the glove of the second baseman in the first inning. He was left stranded at third base. Batting right-handed against the lefty Floyd, and the pitch is swung on and popped up and out of play. 1 strike on Grady. And it took over that second base job as a true freshman, and he's been there ever since. Dad Corey coaching down at third base, associate head coach for the Broncos. Next pitch to Grady is up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 on the way. Outside. 2-1 on Grady Mee. He's got some pop with 2 home runs. 18 runs batted in. The 2-1 on the way. That one's over but low. 3-1 on Grady. Stands deep in the box with a narrow stance. Stands upright. Bat high over the right shoulder. The 3-1 on the way. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. Count goes full now, 3-2. George Derek Floyd with 26 pitches so far into this third inning. Swing and a foul. Fought that one off. That was down around the knees on the outside part of the plate, and Grady offered at it late and just got a piece of it over by the Citadel dugout. Count stays full at 3-2 with 2 outs and nobody on here in the third, tied at 1. The pitch. Swing and a pop-up behind shortstop. Drifting back is Elliott, and he makes the catch in the shallow left field area to retire the side. We go to the 4th, tied at 1. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for the Bulldogs here as we get set for the top of the fourth, tied at 1. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. Broncos 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. First pitch to the cleanup man. Anthony Hausner is in there for a strike. Hausner hitting at 341. Chops one down to first. Right at Thielman, who gloves it, steps on the bag. And Hausner is out on a bounce out to first, unassisted. That'll bring up Noah Cadiz, the designated hitter. Cadiz picked up the Citadel RBI back in the first on a fielder's choice bounce out with the bases loaded. Here's the kick on the pitch. Swing and a foul down onto the berm, down the right field line. 1 strike on Noah Cadiz from Somerville, South Carolina. Right-handed hitter stands right on top of the plate. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a pop-up into shallow right field. Ostrander has a beat on it, under it, and makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the Citadel 4th inning. That'll bring up Thomas Rollauer, the center fielder. Atlanta, Georgia senior. Rollauer struck out in his first at bat to end the first inning. There's a pitch that bounces up there. 1 ball, no strikes to Rollauer. As we mentioned earlier, just joining us, this is not a power hitting team. Citadel with just 8 home runs this season. There's a swing and a miss. They play a little small ball, and it's worked for them to deliver 17 wins this season. There's a strike. Oh, no, ruled a ball. Outside, says the home plate umpire, Chris Viverito. 2 balls and a strike. Rollauer rocking number 2 on his back. Swings and chops one to short. Maloney charges, scoops, throws, and got him by a step. Well done by Mike Maloney as he charged, scooped, and fired in one motion to retire Rollauer and set down the Citadel here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. All even at a run apiece. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. Three, 4, 5 hitters doing up here for Western Michigan in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tied at a run apiece. Broncos run coming on a solo homer by Dylan Nevar back in the 2nd inning. Mike Maloney, Lucas Rick, and Dylan Nevar due up here for Western Michigan in the 4th inning. Maloney bounced out, second to first, back in the first inning. 1 ball, no strikes. That first one bounced up there to home plate. Here's the 1-0 for Floyd. That's high. 2-0 the count. Derek Floyd now at 33 pitches. Maloney bats out of a crouch, slightly open at the plate, and takes one for a strike at the belt on the outside corner, 2-1. Mike 5'10", 185. Played JUCO ball at Southwestern Illinois College before becoming a Bronco. And handling the shortstop role last season, and a year that will be remembered because of the MAC tournament championship by this Western Michigan team. Had a tremendous regular season. Did not win the regular season. Bowling Green edged out the Broncos for the regular season title, but Western Michigan went over to suburban Cleveland, Avon, Ohio, and then motored down 3 opponents to win the MAC tournament championship, going away and advance to the NCAA tournament a year ago. What a season it was. Here's Maloney with a sharp grounder to the shortstop. Elliott gloves it and throws him out. 1 down here in the Bronco half of the 4th, tied at 1. That'll bring up the DH, Lucas Rick. Rock Valley College transfer Lucas Rick wears number 50. And the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 6'2", 245. When he makes contact, it goes a long way. There's a sharp line drive into the gap in left center field, and that one's going to drop and go to the warning track. Lucas will head to second base, and he's in standing with a double. Lucas Rick barreled that one up. It died in the outfield grass just short of the warning track. The center fielder, Rollauer, tried to lay out and make a catch. Could not come up with it, and Rick is on with a go-ahead run at second base. Here's Nevar. Hit his 3rd home run of the season down the right field line, back in the 2nd inning. The kick and the pitch. Over but low, 1 ball, no strikes to Dylan Nevar, Western Michigan's all-time runs batted in leader. Took over that title a couple of weeks ago. The 1-0 pitch is all the way back to the screen, and Rick will hustle down to third. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out, a runner at third. Nevar trying to put the Broncos on top here. There's a pop-up, back in, out of play. Dylan Nevar was the College Sports Communicators Academic All-American second team honoree last year. Second team All-Conference and tournament most valuable player. Swings and misses on a changeup. 2-2 now on Dylan Nevar. Rick, the runner at third with 1 out. The pitch. Swing and chop foul at the plate. It got Dylan on the shin protector that he wears on that right shin. Left-handed hitter. Rocking that teal color bat. Checks his swing. Did he go? No. Almost went around. The Bulldogs thought he did, but third base umpire Stephen Miller says he held up on that pitch in the dirt, and the count goes full 3 balls, 2 strikes on Dylan Nevar. Playing in on the infield. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncer to shortstop and through into center field for a base hit. RBI single for the RBI machine. Dylan Nevar scores Rick from third base. And because the infield was in, the shortstop, Elliott, could not get to that ball. Had he been playing back, he would have been able to make a play perhaps on Dylan Nevar. Probably wouldn't have been able to get the runner, Rick, from third base. But it's a single for Dylan Nevar. RBI base hit as Lucas Rick with a 1-out double comes in to score. 2-1 Western Michigan on top with 1 out here in the 4th inning. The pitch from Floyd, swung on by Harity and lifted into medium left field. Under it is Anderson. He makes the catch, and Nevar returns to first. There are 2 down now for Connor Ostrander. Dylan Nevar accounting for both Bronco runs here today with a solo homer and an RBI single. Ostrander steps in. Coach Gurnon calls timeout. He wants to talk to Connor Ostrander. A lot of times these timeouts with the hitter are to give the pitcher in the dugout a chance to get a little breather. Coach Gurnon pats Connor on the back, sends him back out there. Facing a left-hander for the second time, Floyd. Got him in his first trip to the plate on a fly ball to left. Ostrander's hitting at .250. .367 on base percentage. Here's the set by Floyd. The pitch is outside with a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes on Connor. Ostrander played in a utility role last year. Came off the bench quite often in a pinch hitting role. Takes one over but low. Had 8 starts in left field last year. Played in 22 games. The 2-0. Swung on and lifted into shallow right center field. The right fielder dives and makes the catch. Rolls to the ground, comes up with the ball in his glove, and Connor Ostrander is robbed by the right fielder, Popple, who made a fine diving, running catch in right center field to retire the side. But the Broncos pick up a run on a double by Rick and an RBI single by Dylan Nevar. We go to the 5th. It's Western Michigan 2, the Citadel 1. This is Western Michigan baseball from Himes Field, Robert J. Bob Stadium in Kalamazoo on YouTube Live.
Today's winner of the Buster Home Run Challenge is Jensen Nevar. Please report to the marketing table and claim your prize.
Telling the story earlier of a former player of mine in summer ball for the Kalamazoo Maroons, Asher Wojciechowski, who played high school ball in Sturgis, where his father was an associate pastor. Asher played that summer for my 16U team. Kalamazoo Maroons, and was part of a rotation that finished third in the USSSA World Series down in Tennessee. Asher, a big part of that on the mound. Always wanted to be a hitter, Asher Wojciechowski, but I think I finally convinced him his future was on the mound, and I think I ended up being right there as he went on to the major leagues. There's a strike at the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike on Robbie Lane, the second baseman and 7-hole hitter, leading it off here in the top of the 5th inning. Pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Robbie Lane. 0 for 1, flew out to right in the second inning. 2-1 pitch on the way from Wisdom. Lined into right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. 2 hops into the glove of Ostrander. Leadoff single for Robbie Lane. They'll bring up Ryder Popple, the Tallahassee, Florida freshman right fielder. Still looking for his first hit of the season, first hit of his career. Thought he might get one back in the second inning when he looped one into shallow center field, but Tanner Malley came on to make a catch. Popple digs in, stands up in the box, squares the bunt. Throw goes to first instead, and the runner, Robbie Lane, gets back. Lane a threat to steal. He's 1 for 3 stolen base attempts. Here's the pitch. There's the bunt. Picked up by Wizip. He'll throw to first. It's low, but Thielman scoops it up out of the dirt. Sacrifice bunt for Ryder Popple. Down to second base goes Robbie Lane. I'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Aryan Patel from Hanahan, South Carolina. He bounced out to Grady Mee, who made a fine play, diving to his right near the bag to take a base hit away from Aryan Patel. Here's the pitch. Swing and a chopper to short. Maloney scoops it up. He's going to go to third base, and the throw gets away from Harity, and in to score comes Robbie Lane. Maloney fielded that ball. Throw looked to be good to Brendan Harity, and he just could not make the catch on the throw from the shortstop. And the runner, who unwisely left second base on that play, should have been out. Instead, scores a run to tie things up at 2. And down to second goes Aryan Patel. It'll be a fielder's choice and an error. See if that goes to Harity or Maloney. Probably to the shortstop, Maloney, on the throw. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Phillips Daniels, is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a foul down on the berm in the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. All tied at 2. Errors have been a problem for the Broncos so far in this series. In yesterday's 7-4 loss, the Broncos committed 5 errors. The pitch, swing, and a line drive down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. And the Citadel's going to take the lead. In to score from second base comes Patel, and down to second with a stand-up double as Phillips Daniels. And the Bulldogs take the lead on an RBI double by Daniels. It's going to bring up the left fielder, TJ Anderson, with a runner at second, still only 1 out here in the Bulldog 5th inning. They lead it now 3-2. 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. The Broncos 2 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. And a costly error at that, as they normally are. The pitch. Strike in the outside corner. 1 strike on T.J. Anderson from Ainer, South Carolina. 257 hitter. It's from the left side against the lefty Wizzup, and the pitch from Joey is in there for a strike with a changeup on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to T.J. Anderson, the Bulldog left fielder. He's got a runner in scoring position. The 0-2 is swung on and driven down the left field line, just inside the bag by the left-handed hitter. And that's going to drive in a run. He's trying for 2. Here's the throw to second, not in time. The ball hit the bag on the throw from left fielder Dylan Nevar. And the Bulldogs pick up another run on an RBI double by Anderson. The left-handed hitting Anderson hit that one right down the third baseline, just inside the bag. And he ends up on second base with an RBI double.
Now back to Bulldogs, number 20, Travis Elliott.
Three runs in here in the 5th for the Citadel. And the batter is Elliott, the shortstop, but he takes one in there for a strike. Caught the corner on the outside. No balls, 1 strike. Citadel looking for win number 18. Broncos trying to pick up their 8th victory of the season. Broncos came in 7-20. They played a murderous pre-conference schedule, but they've been picking up some midweek wins against Notre Dame, Northwestern, and Michigan. 4-8 in conference play. There's a pitch outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wizzup to the belt, checks his runner, the pitch. Swing and a line drive into right field. That's a base hit. Ostrander charges hard and fires it into the middle of the diamond, and they'll hold the runner at third base. Elliott with a line drive single to right. And the Bulldogs' threat continues here in the 5th inning. They've already scored 3. They have runners on the corners, leading 4-2. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Anthony Hausner.
Now back to Bulldogs, number 28, Anthony Hausner.
Lane, Patel, and Daniels have all scored. Anderson's at third, and Elliott, the runner, at first. Get a conference at the mound here as the Broncos get the bullpen up and going. Diego Pena comes out to talk to his pitcher, Joey Wizzup, and Bronco infielders all in on the conversation as well. These two teams will play a single game tomorrow, scheduled for a 12:05 first pitch. Originally a 4-game schedule that was shortened down to 3 with all the weather, rain, and such, and busy schedules coming up. And we're going to get Zach Putnam making the slow walk out of the dugout. He's going to make a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new Bronco pitcher when we come back in a moment. The Citadel has runners at first and third as they continue to bat here in the 5th with 3 runs scored. They lead it 4-2. Back with a new pitcher for the Broncos after a short break. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. The big righty, Adam Lehman, on the pitch for the Broncos. This will be his 13th appearance, all in relief. He has a 1-2 record. 16 in the third innings of work for Lehman out of the pen. 21 hits, 17 runs, 16 of those earned. He's walked 11, has 13 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .333 off Adam Lehman. Redshirt freshman right-hander out of Granger, Indiana, Penn High School. And Broncos go to Lehman to try and get out of this fifth inning. Citadel has already scored 3 times, and they have runners at first and third and only 1 out. Going to bring up the cleanup man, left-handed hitting Anthony Hausner. It's 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking and grounded out to Thielman at first. Left-handed hitter. He's got a runner at third, another at first, and a quick toss over there to first base. Back with a dive is Travis Elliott. Lehman works from the middle of the rubber. Looks at third and the first. Now the pitch. Batter squares and drops a bunt down. Lehman tries to get the runner at the plate and is late. The runner able to score standing up. That's Anderson, avoiding the tag attempt from Lehman, who really had no other play. Was not going to get the runner at first, as that bunt was just into the grass in front of home plate. Lehman came charging towards home plate to field the bunt, but it scores the run as he was unable to make the play at the plate. So 4 runs in now for the Bulldogs. Still only 1 out. Runners at first and second. And the batter is Noah Cadiz. The pitch. Outside for a ball, and they've given a single to Hausner on that bunt that scores a run. Little safety squeeze, it works. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and lifted deep into right field. Ostrander going back. He's got it over the left shoulder. Fires it into me, and the runner from second advances to third. 2 outs now. Runners at the corners, 4 runs in. 5-2 the Citadel, and the batter will be Thomas Rollauer. Rollauer 0 for 2, struck out in the first, grounded out in the fourth. As the Bulldogs have batted around here in this 5th inning that has produced 4 runs. Here's the set by Adam Lehman, and the pitch over but low. 1 ball, no strikes. The runner at first, Hausner, took off, then pulled up about 20 feet from the bag and hustled back to first. 1 ball, no strikes. Elliott at third, Hausner the runner at first. The 1-0 pitch. High. 2-0 the count. Same 2 teams here tomorrow, scheduled for noon first pitch, 12:05. We'll have it for you here on YouTube Live. Two and 0 the count. Courtesy toss over to first. Runner back easily. Broncos are playing Rollauer deep and straight away. The 2-0 pitch on the way from Lehman. High and away. Pops out of the glove of Pena, but the runner comes partway down the line and hustles back to third. Travis Elliott. had a thought there to maybe try and score, but then thought better of it and hustled back into the third base bag. 3-0 the count on Thomas Rollauer. See if Lehman can come back from a 3-0 count. The kick on the pitch. Outside ball 4. He walked him. And now the bases are loaded with Bulldogs. Elliott at third. Hausner down to second. Rollauer at first base. It's going to bring up Robbie Lane. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Scored here earlier in the 5th inning. One of the 4 runs to score for the Bulldogs in this 5th. Kick on the pitch. Bounces away from Pena, but he tracks it down to the left of home plate. Runners have to hold. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. High and away. Ball 2. Robbie Lane started his college baseball career at East Georgia State Community College. Claxton, Georgia native. 2-0 the count on him. There's a strike taken all the way. 2-1. Outstanding fielding shortstop. Won a Gold Glove as a sophomore at East Georgia State, where he hit .360 and stole 25 bases with 60 hits. He was a catch for the Citadel. Hasn't transferred to Division I. He came in hitting at .194. Here's the 3-1 to him. Strike at the belt on the outside corner, 3-2. Bases are loaded with Bulldogs. They've scored 4 here in the 5th to take a 5-2 lead. Lehman trying to get out of this jam. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And a bases loaded walk makes it 6-2 Citadel. Travis Elliott comes in to score from third base. Down to third goes Hausner. Down to second goes Rollauer. And out to the mound comes pitching coach Zach Putnam. And he's going to make another pitching change as Lehman having command problems. So Zach will turn to Jake Gernon, who did a fabulous job at Notre Dame on Tuesday night. Notre Dame threatening to come from behind and win that game in the bottom of the 9th. Jake came on, and with runners all over the bags, he got a ground ball back to the mound, came to the plate for a force, and the throw down to first hit the runner who was running in the field of play, not in the designated lane to run down to first base. The umpires called the batter out for a double play to end the game. And Jake got the job done for his dad, Billy Gernon, and pitching coach Zach Putnam. And he'll come on here with bases loaded with Bulldogs. One thing Jake does is throw strike. It's not overpowering. Former Portage Central Mustang, who has found a little niche here for the Broncos out of the bullpen the last couple of years. after redshirting his first year. Got a little bigger, a little stronger. But the reason why they go to Jake is because they know he's going to throw strikes. When the base is loaded, you just need somebody to throw strikes, whether it's to contact or not. Let's check Jake's numbers. This will be his 7th appearance, all in relief. 5 1/3 innings of work for Jake, giving up 6 hits, 6 runs all earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. No win-loss record, a 10.13 earned run average for Jake. He has inherited 3 Bulldog base runners. He's going to face Ryder Popple, the right fielder, the freshman out of Tallahassee. Left-handed hitter against the righty Jake Gernon. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Listed as a right-handed hitter, but he's batting left against the righty Jake Gernon. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and driven deep into right field. Going back is Ostrander, and this one's gone. Ryder Popple's first career hit as a Bulldog is a grand slam home run. Ryder Popple smoked that ball over the 375 mark, and he'll always remember his first collegiate hit. The freshman from Tallahassee goes yard with the bases loaded. And it's now 10-2 Bulldogs. How about that? Ryder Popple came up to the plate 0 for 16 in his career. And he just delivered a bases loaded bomb on a shot under the stands at Waldo Stadium. Clear the bases. 10-2 now, Bulldogs. A 9-run 5th inning so far, and it's still not over. Aryan Patel, the batter. The pitch. Strike at the knees. Ball and a strike on Aryan Patel. Grounded out to second in the second inning on a fine play, diving to his right by Grady Mean. Here's a chopper down to short. Big hop for Maloney. Guns it over to first to get the speedy Patel to retire the side. But the Bulldogs scored 9 runs in their half of the 5th. 4 on a grand slam home run by Ryder Popple, his first hit of his career. Broncos have to come from behind here, down by 8. They bat in the bottom half of the 5th. It's 10-2, the Citadel. You're listening and watching Western Michigan baseball from the Bob, Robert J. Bob Stadium in Himes Field. 10-2 Citadel after 4.5 on YouTube Live. A 9-run fifth inning for the Citadel has them on top of the Broncos here in the bottom half of the fifth, 10-2. Bottom part of the order due up for the Broncos. Avery Thielman, Diego Pena, then back to the top and Tanner Malley. The pitch is a strike at the belt to Avery Thielman. So for one, lined out to center field. Back in the second inning. Digs in, slightly open at the plate. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 0-2. 52nd pitch of the game for Floyd, the lefty starter for the Citadel. Here's the 0-2 on the way. That's up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Citadel, 10 runs on 9 hits, no errors. They left 2 on. Broncos 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. There's a fly ball into right center field, drifting over and back at the warning track. Making the catch is Popple, the right fielder. He hits a grand slam, then makes an outstanding grab in right field, going back on a ball that is being carried by the breeze out to right center field on the warning track, but it stayed up long enough for Popple to run it down. Here's Diego Pena. Pena flew out to center in his only at bat. There's a pop up on the infield. Second baseman Lane calling for it, makes the catch. Pena out, swinging at the first pitch, pops it up the second. Back to the top of the order, Tanner Malley. Malley executed a beautiful bunt single in the first inning. Pushed it past the pitcher towards the second baseman and easily beat it out. For his 39th hit of the season. Flew out to right in the third. Now Malley's called back over to talk to Coach Gurnon in the dugout, and totally a timeout used to give Jake Gurnon, Bronco relief pitcher, chance to take a breath in the dugout after giving up that bases loaded home run and getting the last out of the inning to end that 9-run fifth for the Bulldogs. Here's Malley standing in there, right-handed hitter from Lisle, Illinois. Strike at the knees. 1 strike on Tanner Malley. Tanner hitting at .386 after that bunt single earlier. This game pitches inside, almost hit him. 1-1. Kicking the pitch. Just off the plate inside. 2-1 the count on Tanner. Sophomore used as a utility reserve last year on that MAC tournament championship team. There's one in the hole. It's short. And the throw from the shortstop, Elliott, one hops the first baseman, and Tanner Malley beats it out. That was a tough play for Elliott. That'll be a base hit for Tanner Malley, an infield single, his second hit of the game. Broncos have a runner at first with 2 down for Grady Meade. Grady singled to center in the first and flew out into shallow left field to the shortstop. He's got a runner at first. 2 out. The pitch to him is outside. He's batting right-handed against the lefty. Floyd has gone all the way. 61 pitches now as he works in the fifth. The pitch popped up, foul down the right field line, and that one's going to get out of play. into the seats here at Robert J. Bob Stadium at Himes Field, historic Himes Field, dating back to the late 30s. Home of the first 2 College World Series. Right here, Kalamazoo, Michigan. That's right, Citadel fans. Here's the pitch. It's a strike at the belt on the outside corner, 1-2. Grady turned around to ask the umpire, "Are you sure about that?" Pitch is up high, 2-2 now to Grady. Play Grady to pull, hitting right-handed. Slightly around to left. Although the right fielder playing him a little bit oppo. 2-2 with 2 out and a runner on. There's a chopper to third, and that one's gloved deep by the shortstop in the left field grass behind short, and that's going to be another base hit for Grady Mee. As the shortstop, Elliott, got to the ball, but as he turned to throw, his feet came out from under him on the wet turf out there in shallow left field. And that's a base hit for Grady Mee. Broncos have a little threat going. 2 runners aboard with 2 out for Mike Maloney. The kick and the pitch. Swung on and driven into right field, but right at the right fielder, Popple, who reaches up and makes the catch. Popple hits a grand slam home run and then makes 2 nice plays in right field to end the bottom of the 5th. We go to the 6th. It's the Citadel 10, Western Michigan 2. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. Top of the order for the Citadel here in the 6th. They lead it 10-2 thanks to a 9-run 5th that included a grand slam home run by Ryder Popple, his first career hit. Daniels, Anderson, and Elliott due up for the Bulldogs here against Jake Gernon. First pitch is fouled back and out of play. Imagine they're going to count on some innings here for Jake, although there is activity in the Bronco bullpen. 1 strike, the count on Phillips Daniels. There's a chopper to short to Hopper. Maloney up with it, makes the long throw across the diamond, and Avery Thielman unable to make the grab on that throw across from Maloney, and Thielman trying to stay on the bag. Got the end of the glove on it, but it's going to be an error on Maloney on the throw. Second Bronco error. And the runner at first with nobody down for T.J. Anderson.
Bulldogs, number 32, T.J. Anderson.
Anderson has 2 hits today. Singled in the first, grounded out to short in the third. Doubled in a run and scored in that 9-run fifth. Here's the pitch. Outside and low, 1 ball, no strikes to T.J. Anderson. Left-handed hitting left fielder. Gernon works and delivers outside, 2-0. Anderson played at Florence Darlington Community College. Takes a pitch on the corner for a strike, 2-1. Utility guy, moves around the field for the Bulldogs. Swings and fouls this one back. Count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steps up there hitting at 265. A couple of hits today, elevating that average 15 points already today. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled. He doubled down the left field line. This is a left-handed hitter that sent it just inside the bag at third base. Talking about going oppo. That's about as oppo as you can go. Back in that 9-run inning, here's another foul. He just got a piece of that one off the end of the bat. Two balls, 2 strikes, a runner at first, nobody out. 10-2. The Citadel on top. Here's a fly ball into shallow left field coming on his Nevar. Reaches up and makes the catch on the run. 1 down here in the Citadel's 6th inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, Travis Elliott.
Now back to the Bulldogs, number 20, Travis Elliott.
Really good shortstop. Played in all 52 games a year ago for the Citadel. Hit .282 last year. Right-handed hitting shortstop. Can play those middle infield positions, second and short. Pitches in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Two balls, no strikes, 1 out, a runner at first. 10-2. The Citadel on top. There's a strike at the letters from Jake Gernon. In his 2nd inning of work, he came on with the bases loaded last inning and gave up that grand slam home run. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. 2-2 now. Whatever it is, the Broncos have played well in the midweek games, and then on the weekends, not as well. To get that corrected as they get back into conference play next weekend. It's a foul back and out of play. Not that you don't want to win those midweek games. You're playing the likes of Michigan and Northwestern out of the Big Ten and Notre Dame out of the ACC and all on the road. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. That one Gets away from Pena all the way back to the screen, and down to second base goes Daniels. It's a wild pitch on Gernon. Count goes full now, 3-2. Looks like Matt Hoover loosening in the Bronco bullpen. Full count pitch coming up from Jake. Here it is. Swung on and fouled back and out of play by T.J. Anderson. Grad student playing his final year of college baseball out of Lexington, South Carolina. Good brand of baseball down there in that part of the country. Swinging another foul. Count stays full at 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. In tight, backed him away, and it's a walk to Travis Elliott. He's down at first base. So runners at first and second, one out. And we're going to get another pitching change. Broncos will go back to the bullpen. This will be the fourth pitcher of the day. We'll take a break and tell you about the new man on the mound for the Broncos when we come back. Here it's the Citadel 10, the Broncos 2 in the top of the sixth with 2 runners aboard and 1 out. This is Western Michigan baseball from Robert J. Bob's Stadium at Himes Field on YouTube Live.
Broncos, number 6, Matt Hoover.
On now to pitch for the Broncos, junior right-hander Matt Hoover out of Buchanan, Michigan. 5'11" with 175. And Hoover in 4 appearances, no win-loss mark. All out of the bullpen on those 4 appearances. 2 innings of work. He's given up 9 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. 2 walks, no strikeouts. Has an inflated ERA of 36. Just 4 previous appearances and 2 innings. Hoover getting a chance here out of the pen in a 10-2 game with 2 runners aboard and 1 out in the 6th. He's going to face Anthony Hausner. Hausner has an RBI single and a run scored back in that 9-run 5th inning. Struck out and grounded out in his other 2 appearances. Left-handed hitter, swings and misses at the first pitch from Hoover. 1 strike on the junior from Apex, North Carolina, transfer from Guilford Tech Community College. 0-1 from Hoover. is a strike at the knees in the outside corner. Good chance for Matt Hoover to get some work. Broncos looking for some depth in that bullpen. Fifth opportunity here for Matt. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch. Almost got him to fish after a breaking ball off the corner, 1-2. Left-handed hitting first baseman from the belt. Hoover checks his runner at second. The pitch. Way outside, 2-2. Errors were a problem for the Broncos yesterday. They made 5 errors in a 7-4 loss. That helped the Citadel cause for sure yesterday. And it's helped them here today in a couple of errors. A couple of throwing errors. First one led to that big inning in the 5th inning that ended up plating 9 Bulldog runners. Payoff pitch coming up. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. Let that ball travel in the zone and fouled it back over the Bronco dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hoover up on that hill has his pitch calm sign and looks to second. The 3-2. Chop foul down the first baseline. And Anthony Hausner stays alive. Big, strong first baseman, 6'3", 248 pounds. He fills out that uniform. Waggles that bat over the left shoulder. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a hard ground ball past me into right field. That's going to score another Bulldog run. That was hit sharply. Grady tried to backhand it, and it bounced right over his glove into right field. And as we mentioned, the Bulldogs don't hit a lot of home runs. Just 9 now on that grand slam home run by Papo earlier in this game. They just get base hit after base hit. Bunt here, move a runner around, score a runner on a ground ball the opposite way. That's how they produced 17 wins and lead this one 11-2. There's a pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. On Noah Cadiz, the Somerville, South Carolina DH. Chance to add to this Bulldog lead. The pitch outside. 2-0 the count. Two balls with no strikes. Hoover to the belt. The pitch outside. 3-0. So Hoover having command issues. Dees taps the shoulder with the bat over his right shoulder and takes a walk. That one well out of the strike zone. He walks down to first on 4 straight pitches. One run in here in the 6th. And the Bulldogs have them loaded up again. Rollauer steps up with the bases loaded and 1 out and takes a strike at the knees. 1 strike the count on Thomas Rollauer. Check his day so far. Struck out on the 1st, grounded out to short in the 4th, walked and scored in the 5th. The 0-1 in the dirt, blocked nicely by Pena, holding the runners, evening the count at a ball and a strike. There's a swing and a miss on a changeup. Good looking pitch there from Hoover. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt trying to get a ground ball here. They're in double play depth at short and third, in at third, at short and second, I should say. They're in at the corners, first to third, and that pitch got away from Pena, but he was able to knock it down. And actually, that's Nolan Zajac now behind the plate as he came in to replace Pena this inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Bases loaded. The pitch is just off the corner. Count full now, 3-2. Hoover has nowhere to put this base runner with the bases loaded. Nickname Rolly. And there's a strike 3 called on the outside corner. Big strikeout for Hoover. Rollauer wasn't too sure about that, but the senior from Atlanta goes into the dugout, taking a called third strike on a 3-2 pitch. 2 outs with the bases loaded. And here's Robbie Lane. Lane with a productive day for the Bulldogs. Takes one over but low with a slider. Lined out to right in the second. Singled and scored in the 5th. Walked in a run and scored in that 9-run 5th inning. He batted twice in that inning. The pitch. Strike at the belt. 1-1 the count on Robbie Lane from Claxton, Georgia. Pinch hit yesterday and delivered a base hit. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a big cut at a changeup. 1-2. Hoover trying to get out of this bases loaded jam with only 1 run scoring. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. Zajac blocked it, and they appeal no swing. Count evens up at 2-2. Good job by Zajac to block that ball behind the plate. Hoover back on the mound. Has his sign. The 2-2 pitch with the bases juiced is swung on and foul tipped off the shin protector of Nolan Zajac. He's shaking that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eleven runs on 10 hits for the Bulldogs, and they've threatened here in the middle innings and put 9 on the board in the 5th. The pitch. Strike 3 call. Hoover got him on strikes. Good job by Matt Hoover. He leaves them loaded. Bulldogs score another run. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's the Citadel 11, Western Michigan 2. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. Lucas Rick, the batter, as the Broncos bat in the 6th, and he hits one on 3 hops down to third base. Scooping it up down there and making the throw across the diamond is Patel to retire Lucas Rick. 1 pitch, 1 down here in the Broncos' 6th inning. We'll bring up Dylan Nevar, who's driven in both Bronco runs, the all-time leader in runs batted in for Western Michigan. Steps up there with nobody on and 1 down. He homered in the 2nd inning and then delivered an RBI base hit in the 4th. He's an RBI machine. Takes the first pitch in the dirt, bounces over by Bronco dugout. 1 ball, no strikes on Dylan Nevar. From that vacation paradise, the Wisconsin Dells in Wisconsin. Swing, and he gets way around on that one and fouls it into the woods. Well ahead of the changeup and drove it way out of here. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nevar stands back in there, the 1-1. He reaches out and pops this one up. Got him out on his front foot that time with a breaking ball, and he pops up to the second baseman. Lane makes the play on that pop-up by Nevar. 2 down, nobody on. For Brendan Harity. Harity is 0 for 2. Struck out in the 2nd. Flew out in the 4th. 1 ball, no strikes on Brendan Harity. Kick in the pitch. Swung on and lifted high into shallow left field. The shortstop drifting back and under it, and Elliott makes the catch to retire the side. A quick inning for Floyd and the Bulldogs. As we go to the 7th, the Citadel leads at 11-2. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. Ryder Papa will lead it off here in the 7th inning for the Citadel Bulldogs. Takes the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. Hoover back out for another inning of work. Came on in relief last inning and got a couple of strikeouts to end a scoring threat. Papa squares the bunt and bunts this one off of the catcher, Zajac, who is rolling around in some pain down near home plate. And that one went off an area that you don't like to see. Out comes the training staff and Coach Billy Gernon, and when the knees are pushed forward. Do you know what happened to Nolan Zajac right there on that bunt attempt that was fouled off by Papa, who's the hitting hero for this Citadel team, as he came up with just the 9th home run of the season for the Bulldogs, but it came with the bases loaded, and it was also his first career hit after beginning his career 0 for 16. Batting left-handed against the right-handed reliever Jake Gurn, and he stroked one over the 375 mark with the bases loaded. Nolan trying to catch his breath back there behind home plate. One of the hazards of catching. It happens. Luckily, the catchers are geared up to cover some of those critical areas. Trying to shake it off out there. And he's going to stay in there. Sure, that's not the first time that's happened to Nolan if you're a catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Popple. Nolan's going to take a couple of courtesy tosses here to make sure he's okay as he crouches back there on one knee. Great to see Matt Hoover come out of the bullpen and pitch well. See if he can put together another solid inning and be someone that Zach Putnam and Coach Gernon can rely on out of that bullpen. Making just his 5th appearance. Got a couple of strikeouts to end a threat last inning with the bases loaded. 1-1 the count now. Zajac's ready to work behind home plate. The pitch is a strike at the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryder Popple. Batting left-handed against the righty Hoover. The pitch is outside. 2-2. Waggles that bat over the left shoulder. Swings and bounces one to short. Glove there and over to first. Avery got his foot back on the bag as Brendan Harity has moved over there to play shortstop. Maloney moves to third base. And Harity pulled Avery Thielman off the bag, but Thielman was able to get back with the foot after catching the ball to retire Popple. 1 out here in the Citadel 7th inning. 11 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 2-7-2 for Western Michigan. So Maloney and Harity have done this before where they switch spots, short and third. Give Maloney a break after a couple throwing errors. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 1-1 on Aryan Patel. It's hit the ball hard 3 times. Nothing to show for it. Safe on a fielder's choice in the 5th and scored a run in that 9-run Bulldog 5th inning. Takes that one over but low. 2-1 the count on Aryan Patel. Kicking the pitch to him is outside. Traffic whizzing by on Stadium Drive here into the afternoon 5 o'clock rush hour. 3-1 now on Patel. The pitch way outside, ball 4. And the 6-foot, 175-pound junior infielder heads down to first base. He also doubles as a pitcher for the Bulldogs. And he has not pitched a whole lot, but 3 appearances for Patel. on the rubber. He's down there at first base after a walk. 1-out walk. The pitch to the leadoff man. Phillips Daniels is up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Daniels batting for the 5th time today. He's had an outstanding day. 1-0 pitch coming up is low and away. 2-0. Singleton scored in the first, grounded out to the pitcher in the third, doubled in a run and scored in that 9-run 5th. Safe on a throwing error by the shortstop in the 6th and scored. There's a strike. 2-1 the count now on Phillips Daniels from Columbia, South Carolina. Home of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Another pitch for a ball, 3-1. Right-handed hitter against the righty Hoover. The 3-1 on the way. Strike called at the knees. Working into more of a regular role for the Citadel this year in his junior season. He's played in 32 games. Today was his 31st start after serving in more of a backup role earlier in his career. Swing, and he went around on the 3-2 pitch, and he is down on strikes. Tried to check his swing on a pitch way up and out of the strike zone, but he went around, and Stephen Miller, actually Chad Logan down there at first base, said yes, indeed, he went around. So 2 outs now. Another strikeout for Hoover, his 3rd of the game. With a runner at first, the pitch is swung on and lifted into center field. Tanner Malley comes on hard, and he's not going to get there. It bounces in front of him. Off his glove, they're waving the runner in from third. Here's the throw to the plate, and Zajac applies the tag, and out at the plate is Aryan Patel trying to score from second base after Malley couldn't get that ball on that line drive to center field. But Malley comes up, and they get the play at the plate to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's the Citadel 11, Western Michigan 2. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. Organist Greg Cronkite here at Himes Field with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Actually, Greg just pushed a button on the computer to play Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but technically he played Take Me Out to the Ball Game. 11-2 here with the Citadel on top. We got a new pitcher for the Citadel. And it's going to be Ben Brash coming on. 6'4" right-hander, sophomore from Aiken, South Carolina. Check Ben's numbers. This will be his 9th appearance, 7th in relief, 23 and a third innings for Ben Brash. 37 hits, 22 runs, 19 of those earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 9. Opponent's hitting .359 on Ben Brash, who has a .733 earned run average. He's going to face the bottom third of the order for Western Michigan: Ostrander, Thielman, and Zajac. Connor Ostrander's not going to bat. Broncos are going to go to the bench, and Cooper Hums will bat. The Mishawaka, Indiana sophomore. Cooper Hums. 167 average for Cooper, 48 at bats. He's got 8 hits. Here's the pitch to him. Swings at the first offering and pops it up on the infield. Patel, the third baseman, comes on in front of the pitcher's mound and makes a running catch on that pop-up by Hums on the first offering from Ben Brash. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the Broncos 7th. Here's Thielman. Avery's looking for his first hit today. Lined out to center in the 2nd and flew out to right in the 5th. Right-handed hitter stands upright at the plate and takes the first pitch for his strike from Ben Brash. The pitch, line drive into right field. Giving chase is the right fielder, Popple, but he's not going to make a play. It takes 1 hop onto the fence in right and a sliding double for Avery. Avery Thielman in with a double to right. Thielman has been kind of a doubles machine. This is 19th hit and 5th double. So the Broncos have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Nolan Zajac, who came on to replace Pena behind the plate, stands in for the first time today. Checks his swing on a pitch low and away. 1 ball, no strikes on Nolan Zajac. Zajac hitting .130. He's got 3 hits. Takes that one for a strike in the outside corner as the 5:20 Amtrak heads into Kalamazoo from Chicago. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch swung on and fouled over by the Bronco dugout. 1-2 now on Nolan Zajac. Zajac out of Carleton, Michigan, and he looked at that one and got rung up by home plate umpire Chris Viverito. Called out on strikes. Nolan Zajac heads to the dugout, and up steps Tanner Malley with 2 out and a runner at second. Thielman on at second on a double into right field. And Malley would try and drive him in. The pitch is in there for a strike at the belt on Tanner Malley. Has 2 of the Bronco 8 hits today. A bunt single to lead off the first inning. And another single in the 5th. The pitch, swing and a miss. That one might have been out of the strike zone, but Malley thought he could handle it and came up empty. 0-2. Avery Thielman gets his lead at second base. And the 0-2 from Brash. Swung on and bounced to second base. Scooped up there by Lane, over to first in time, but down goes Malley at first base. He hit that bag awkwardly and went tumbling down the line and right. He is helped to his feet and looks to be okay. The side is retired. We go to the 8th. It's the Citadel 11 and Western Michigan 2. Top of the 8th coming up next. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. Well, the talk of the town is that Western Michigan hockey team. Coach Pat Ferschweiler, NCHC Coach of the Year and College Hockey News Coach of the Year, up for the National Coach of the Year award, will take his 32-win team to St. Louis for the Frozen Four, first ever Frozen Four in the history of the Western Michigan hockey program. Broncos won the NCHC regular season title and the tournament title. Only the second team in league history to win them both in the same year. And then they advanced to the Frozen Four with a couple of one-goal victories in the Fargo, North Dakota regional last weekend. Leave Tuesday for St. Louis and play a familiar foe, NCHC rival Denver, in the national semifinals on Thursday. That's a 5 o'clock game Eastern time, 4 o'clock Central from St. Louis, Missouri. We'll have that one on 106.5 Jack FM with Alex Goodman joining me from the home of the St. Louis Blues for the national semifinal against Denver. Looking forward to that. Broncos and Denver meeting for the 4th time this year. All one-goal games. 2 wins for the Broncos, 1 for Denver in overtime here in Kalamazoo back in December. There's a chopper that is gloved by Maloney. Long throw to first in time. Got him. Good play by Mike, who shifted from short over to third last inning and made a nice play. Elliott is out. That'll bring up Hausner. 1 out here in the Citadel 8th inning. Matt Maloney, by the way, on to pitch. Mike's younger brother. Here's the set and the pitch. Over but low, 1 ball, no strikes. There's a strike called from Matt. The set and the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Matt transferred from Evansville. Redshirt junior from Mokina, Illinois. And actually, Matt and Mike are twin brothers, so united again here at Western Michigan. Also have a younger sister, Mary. Kicking the pitch from Matt. is over but low for ball 4 on the 3-2 pitch, and down to first goes Anthony Hausner, and that'll bring up Noah Cadiz. Cadiz batting for the 5th time, making his 5th plate appearance. Got an RBI and a fielder's choice in the 1st. Flew out to right in the 4th and again in the 5th, and walked in the 6th. First pitch from Mike Maloney's twin brother Matt is a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Set by Matt, the pitch. Swinging a foul over by the Bronco dugout. Count evens at 1-1. Runner at first, 1 out, 11-2. Bulldogs on top of the Broncos in game 2 of this 3-game set here at Robert J. Bob Stadium. Swing and a foul back and out of play by Cadiz. Broncos have 6 outs. Try and make up a 9-run difference in an 11-2 game. Here's the pitch. Swing and a slow roller to third. Maloney over to second for 1. The relay is in time for the double play. Maloney to me to Thielman, and Matt Maloney works a solid inning and gets some help from his twin down there at third base. Mike starts 5-4-3 double play. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is the Citadel 11 and Western Michigan 2. This is Western Michigan baseball on YouTube Live. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Broncos are trailing by 9, 11-2. Grady Mee will lead it off for the Broncos here in the 8th and takes the first pitch from Ben Brash in there for a strike. Grady has 2 of the 8 Bronco hits, both singles here today. Batting left-handed for the first time in this one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Grady Mee. The 1-1 swung on and lifted down the left field line, drifting into foul territory and dropping safely. Anderson gave it a go, but wasn't able to get there. Long strike on Grady. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mee. Toledo Whitmer High School product, Grady Mee. It's an outstanding career here at Western Michigan. Here's the 1-2, swung on and fouled back to the screen. Academic All-MAC a year ago. Started all 55 games at second base last season and hit .292 on that MAC tournament championship team that advanced to the NCAA tournament at Kentucky. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Grady. Appeared in 38 games with 32 starts as a freshman in 2023. Swing and a foul off the foot. Rolls out in the infield. But Chris Vivarita immediately said that was a foul ball off of Grady. Count stays even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bulldogs broke this one open with a 9-run fifth that included a grand slam home run on the first hit of his career by Popple, the right fielder, who was 0 for 16 up until that point. Three and 2 now as that one bounced up there to Grady. The payoff pitch on the way from Ben Brash is just off the plate. Ball 4. Grady Mee draws a walk. Broncos have a base runner. And up steps Mike Maloney.
Now back to Broncos, number 12, Mike Maloney.
Mike listed at 5'10", 185, and Matt Maloney is twin at 5'10", 180. The kick and the pitch is in there for a strike called to Mike. He's just a little bit thicker than the leaner pitcher frame of Matt. There's a strike. 0-2 the count on Mike. Started the game at short, had a couple of throwing errors, and swapped places with Harity. Grady Mee gets the lead at first, where they're holding him on. The pitch is just inside at the belt, 1-2. Bronco runs, both delivered by Dylan Nevar. Solo home run and an RBI single by program's all-time RBI leader, Dylan Nevar. Pitches inside, 2-2 now to Mike Maloney. Ben Brash to the belt. The look to first, the pitch, swing and a miss. Got him chasing one out of the strike zone. The fastball swung on and missed by Maloney. He'll head to the dugout, and out trots Lucas Rick. Rockford, Michigan, the hometown of Lucas Rick. Here's the pitch to him, swung on and chopped foul over by the dugout. 1 strike on Rick, who appeared in 10 games as a pinch hitter last season for the Broncos. And his first collegiate at bat was a pinch hit solo home run against Florida State. 1 strike to count on him. Grady Mee with a lead at first base. The pitch. Strike at the knees on Lucas. No balls and 2 strikes. Ben Brash steps off the mound for a minute, gathers himself, looks to first, and the 0-2 on the way. Swing and a foul at the plate. Rick just got a piece of it off the end of the bat. 1 out, a runner at first. Dylan Nevar in the on-deck circle. Rick trying to get on base. give Nevar a chance for some more RBIs. There's a chopper foul down the third baseline. The sights and sounds that come along with Himes Field. Earlier it was Amtrak. Life EMS flying by there. 0-2 the count on Lucas Rick. The kick on the pitch, runners going. Down to second with a throw. It's not in time. Rick took a strike 3 called, and he is down on strikes. Stolen base, though, for Grady Mee. And Grady now 15 out of 16 in the stolen base category. He's in scoring position with 2 out for Dylan Nevar. Lucas Rick shaking his head as he went back to the dugout. He thought that pitch was high, but Chris Viverito rang him up. Here's Nevar, who homered and singled in a run. The only 2 runs of the game for the Broncos. Brash to the belt, the pitch, strike at the knees on the inside corner. 1 strike on Dylan Nevar. .286 hitter with runners in scoring position. There's one down there at second base. There's a chopper foul down the first baseline. Glove done by Josh Reedbrandt down there coaching first base. Makes a bare hand grab of that chopper by Dylan. Corey Mee coaching down at third. He wants to wave Grady in here if he can down at second base. The 0-2 coming up to Nevar. Swinging another chopper down to first base. Coach Reedbrandt scoops that one up. Little slow hopper. Throws it back into the dugout. Grady Mee on at second with a walk and a stolen base. Broncos are down 9. The set by Ben Brash. Double look to second, the pitch. Fouled back and out of play by Nevar. Same 2 teams tomorrow, scheduled for a 12:05 first pitch. Bulldogs flying out of here tomorrow evening, back down to South Carolina. Resume their SoCon schedule next week. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a slow roller back to the mound. Brash has it, will underhand to first to retire Nevar. And the Broncos go down in the 8th, stranding a man. We go to the 9th. The Citadel 11, the Broncos 2. This is Western Michigan Baseball on YouTube Live. We go to the 9th. Bulldogs on top of the Broncos 11-2, trying to take the first 2 games of this 3-game weekend series. Matt Maloney back out there for another inning of work. As we mentioned Matt started his college career at Southwestern Illinois College, along with his twin brother Mike. Then Matt transferred to Evansville for the 2024 season. He was part of that Evansville team that won the regional in Greenville, and in the Super Regional took eventual national champion Tennessee to 3 games. That didn't see any action for Evansville, and jumped in the portal, and here he is at Western Michigan. First pitch is inside for a ball on Rollauer, the center fielder. The pitch, swing and fouled back and out of play. Rollauer 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored today. Struck out twice, grounded out in the 4th, and walked and scored in that 9-run 5th inning. That's the difference in the game. Bounced up there from Maloney. 2-1 the count. 9 runs in the 5th inning. 4 coming on a grand slam home run by Ryder Popple, the freshman right fielder who was without a hit in his college career until he put one over the 375 mark into Waldo Stadium. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Here's a chopper foul over by the Bronco dugout. Count goes full now, 3-2 on Rollauer. Three balls, 2 strikes on the center fielder. The pitch to him. That hit him on the elbow. Ouch. On a cold day, that hurts, and he fires the bat over by the dugout and heads down to first base. He's got an elbow guard on. That left elbow, it might have hit just below the elbow guard. Between the wrist and the elbow guard. Right on the bone. You could hear it up here, and he's in some pain as he tries to walk it off down the first baseline. Chilly day in the high 40s. That'll smart. Pointing out to the trainer, and Coach Triplett, who will trot back into the dugout. What a year, what a career he's had in his 15th season. Coach Triplett looking for his 436th career victory as head coach of the Citadel out of the SoCon Conference. Stepping in now with a runner at first, Robbie Lane. Takes one for a strike called at the letters. 1 strike on the Bulldogs' second baseman. Scored a couple of runs today with a walk and a single and an RBI. Swing and a bouncer to third. Scooped up there by Maloney to second for 1. The relay to first in time. Double play. Maloney turns the second 5-4-3 double play in as many innings. Matt Maloney getting a couple of double play balls started by his twin brother Mike at third base. 2 outs. And that'll bring up a pinch hitter here for the Citadel. Popple's due out, but he's not going to bat. He's had a productive day with his first career hit, a grand slam home run. It's going to be Garrett Fulmer batting. Fulmer hitting at 157. He's got 13 hits and 83 ABs. He's got a home run and 7 RBIs. Roller down the first baseline, and flipping over to first is Matt Maloney to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Western Michigan trailing 11-2. This is Bronco Baseball from Himes Field, Robert J. Bob Stadium on YouTube Live.
13, Brendan Hardy.
New right fielder for the Citadel, Chase Loggins, 6'2" senior from Daniel Island, South Carolina. Takes over for Popple out there in right field. First pitch to Harity, leading off the ninth for the Broncos, is in for his strike called from Ben Brash. One strike on Harity, looking for his first hit of the game. He's 0 for 3. Brash kicks and pitches. Strike 2. Hard slider at the knees on Harity. No balls and 2 strikes. Harity struck out in the second, flew out to left in the fourth, popped up to short in the sixth. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. They complete the strikeout on the throw down to first base. Harity down on strikes. One down here in the Bronco ninth inning. Cooper Hums will bat. He came on to bat for Connor Ostrander earlier in this game. Left-handed hitter playing in right field. His second trip to the plate. Popped up to third. Back in the seventh. Pinch hitting for Connor Ostrander. First pitch in the dirt to Cooper. 1 ball, no strikes on Hums. Sophomore from Mishawaka, Indiana, Penn High School. Great high school program there. Takes another pitch off the plate, 2-0. Brash to the belt, the pitch. Inside, almost hit him off the glove of the catcher over near the dugout of the Bulldogs. Kicking the pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. Three and one. Strike called to Hums. The set and the pitch. Swung on, bounced back to the mound. Good play by Brash, backing up. Glove down, he scoops it up and throws out Hums. 2 down here in the ninth. Max scores today. Kent State over Central Michigan 4-0 in Mount Pleasant. We're in the bottom of the 8th at Northern Illinois. The Bobcats of Ohio and the Huskies tied at 11. Only 2 scores we have to pass along in the MAC today. No balls, 1 strike to Avery Thielman with 2 out, nobody on. Thielman, the last hope for the Broncos, trailing 11-2. Ben Brash kicks and pitches. Slider in for a strike at the knees. And the Bulldogs 1 strike away from taking the first 2 of this 3-game series with Western Michigan. 0-2 pitch on the way. Inside, off the glove of the catcher. That almost clipped Thielman. Trying to wear one for the team, but just missed him, and off the glove of the catcher for a ball. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Ben Brash. Outside. Avery thought about pulling the trigger on that one, but held up. The 2-2 on the way. Rhythmic applause from the Citadel dugout, and Avery lines one down the line and right. That's going to be, oh, nope, he'll pull up and hold up and dive back into first base. He was thinking 2 all the way, but the right fielder Loggins got that one in quickly after it went off the tip of his glove. Checking the MAC standings quickly, Miami of Ohio's on top, 12-2 record. Ball State 9-2, along with Kent State tied for second. Bowling Green at 10-4. In fourth place, Bowling Green, last year's regular season champs, ahead of the Broncos. Eastern Michigan at 8-6. In fifth place, Central Michigan in sixth at 5-6. Broncos in seventh at 4-8. Toledo at 4-9. Ohio 3-10. Northern Illinois 2-8. Akron 2-11 so far. Pinch hitter for the Broncos, Isaac's in there, pinch hitting for Western Michigan, batting at a 136 clip. He's got a runner at first and 2 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Jackson Isaacs getting an opportunity for an AB here in an 11-2 game. Checks his swing, and he went around for a strike. And he's down in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Isaacs, freshman from Grand Rapids Christian High School. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way, and almost hit him, backed him away, 1-2. One week from today, the spring showcase over at Waldo Stadium as Lance Taylor wraps up his 3rd spring ball session as head coach of the Bronco football team. That spring showcase starts next Saturday, the 12th, at 2 o'clock, but get there early for a pre-showcase fan fest inside the Seatley Center starting at noon next Saturday. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled into the Bronco batting cages down the left field line. So a lot going on. That hockey team in the Frozen Four in St. Louis. You got spring football winding down. Softball and baseball well underway in their respective seasons. There's a chopper foul down the first baseline. Women's track and field in the thick of things. Men's and women's tennis. Men's tennis already wrapped up a spot in the MAC tournament. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at first. Ben Brash to the belt, the pitch. Fouled back and out of play. Jackson Isaacs hanging in there. Bundle up tomorrow. Come on out and watch game 3 of this shortened 3-game series. 12:05 scheduled first pitch. Here's the 2-2. Up high to Isaacs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch coming up from Ben Brash. Outside, ball 4. Jackson Isaacs with a graded bat. Draws a walk. Will bring up Tanner Malley. Another 2-hit day for Tanner. Broncos leading hitter. Now up to 388. A couple of singles today. Bunt single in the first. Another single in the 5th. First pitch to him. Base hit to center field. Line drive over the bag at second base. Rounding third and in to score comes Avery Thielman. Isaacs down to second. Sharp single on the first pitch he saw. Tanner Malley drives in the 3rd run of the day for the Broncos. It's now 11-3, the Citadel. Here Here comes me up to bat. Grady's had a couple of hits and a walk. 2 for 3 and a base on balls for the junior second baseman for Western Michigan. First pitch is high from Ben Brash. 1 ball, no strikes. 3 runs on 10 hits for the Broncos. 11 runs on 11 hits for the Citadel. The pitch. Strike in the inside corner. 1-1 on Grady Mee. Jackson Isaacs down at second base. Tanner Malley on with his 3rd hit at first base. Brash checks the runner at second. The pitch. Strike in the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Grady Mee. One and 2, the pitch. Swing and a bouncer to second base. Flip to second. They get the force on Tanner Malley to retire the side and end the game. The Citadel takes game 2 of this 3-game series. After winning yesterday 7-4, a big 9-run 5th inning today propels them to an 11-3 victory. Line score here today. The Citadel 11 runs on 11 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. The Broncos scored 3 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors. They left 8 on base. 2 RBI day for Dylan Nevar, including a home run, his 3rd of the season. And he drove in another run with an RBI single. Tanner Malley gets the 3rd RBI for the Broncos here in the 9th with an RBI single up the middle. The win will go to the starter for the Citadel, George Floyd. The loss goes to Joey Wizard of the Broncos as Western Michigan falls here today 11-3. The big blow of the game, the first career hit for Ryder Popple, who was 0 for 16 till he came to bat with the bases loaded in the 5th inning and deposited a fastball over the 375 mark in right center field to cap a big 9-run 5th inning for the Citadel. And they go on to win it by a final score of 11-3. Broncos with the loss fall to 7-21. 18th victory of the season for the Citadel. They're now 18-14. They'll go for a sweep on the road when these two teams hook up again tomorrow. First pitch at 12:05. We'll have it for you right here on YouTube Live starting at noon. That's going to do it from Himes Field, Robert J. Bob Stadium in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Final score today, the Citadel 11, Western Michigan 3. I'm Robin Hook. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow on YouTube Live.